J.M.Wong again, welcome to another video. I would say I finally have the mood to shoot another video. Not really like in my best mood, but I feel like I don't want to pile up the things I have planned to do, and I failed to do so. And as you can see, I have missed my own schedule of posting the September reads within October, and now it's already November. So I was thinking, well, since I missed that, why don't I just do the September and October reads in one video? And that's what I'm going to do. So for this video, I'm going to review 2 books in total. And yeah, so for my September reads, it's the book that I'm going to introduce is belong to one of the books that I've bought in Singapore, which I also introduced another one, if you check out, in my August reads. And this is somehow I bought this book for the same reasons that I mentioned in my previous video, where I just bought it just for the title. Like, I don't actually check the content of it, I bought it because of the title. And the title of this book is called The Boy with the Flower That Grew Out of His Ass. Woo! Imagine that. Like, imagine the moment I saw this, and I was just like, I stopped, and my mind just processed a bit. I was like, what? And then I decided, like, I have to buy it. Because, like, afterwards, like, I didn't regret it at all. Like, if you just, like, ignore the content, just looking at the outlook of the book on its own, which, I should have bought it back. But if you just focus on the outlook, you just realize it's a piece of artwork. Like, it's very thin. Like, just imagine in your head, okay? This is the cover here. It's very thin. It's very small. It's a pocket-sized version. It has a hard cover. And inside, that's the main point, inside, the pieces of paper, like the pages, are not white. They are like black in color and silver. Like, words in silver are printed on it. Wow, if you look at it, imagine, it's so beautiful. And there are like really simple illustrations also printed in the color of silver, but if you look at it and read the story, you understand the very simple patterns that slowly grows has a meaning. So basically it's a piece of artwork. Like, it's so beautiful, and you just want to keep it in your purse, and like, even if you finish reading it, you won't feel like I want to give it to someone because it's so pretty if you just look at it as a piece of artwork, as I mentioned a lot of times. But if you look at the content, it's even more amazing. So basically there is only one story in this book and also one essay explaining the story, but it doesn't matter because I feel like this story like leaves a mark on me. I won't spoil a lot, but I would say one of the reasons it leaves such a huge impact on me is because it's a sad story. Yes, spoiler, like sad story, but still it makes you reflect. Like, if you look at the title, basically you already know one of the main characters, what he looks like. Like, the basic thing is he has a flower growing off his ass. To me, like, I would say this book also, like, of course, focuses on the LGBT community, but also it can be directed to people who are like find themselves cannot fit into the mainstream's like views and images. Anyone who find them like, I am not what the stereotypes are saying, and like this book gives you that. And also, even if you're so-called like normal, like you're part of the mainstream people, but still this book would give you the feeling that, do we really need to be so drastic towards people who are different from us? Like, it gives you this like awakening call. Like, is it necessary? Like, if you look at the title, just this character, the boy with the flower that grew from out of his ass, people might think it's, oh, it's so weird, and somehow ignore the fact that it can be a beautiful image. Like, having a flower grow out of your body. Flowers are supposed to be beautiful, right? Why does it have to be so disgusting and weird when it grew out of like what they normally don't grow out? It doesn't grow out of a flower pot. Why does it make that person or that thing look so ugly if they are in the wrong place? They can still be beautiful, right? And sometimes people focuses on the weirdness so much they ignore also the beauty deep within, and they do ugly things like drastic violent behaviors towards these people, and that's sad. And that's also what the story gave me. It's just sad. But if you are willing to take the challenge, that even though it's sad, but it gives you this lesson and inspires you, if you're willing to take up this risk or challenge, do read this, because it's very short, it's a piece of artwork, it's just beautiful. So Halloween has just passed it, but I just like for October reads, I found the perfect read for this festival, and that is Wizards. Like, I don't think a lot of people know about this book because of the title. Like, if you just type in Wizards book, rarely you will find this search unless you have like also written down the names, or just add like magical tales from a master, things like this. Like, it's hard for you to find out this book. I found this book in a bookstore 3 years ago, and it only have one copy. I was so lucky, and I bought it. and somehow I just feel like it's like fate, like meeting these books. Like, have you ever feel like there are some books that you feel like it's like fate? Like, there's this one copy, and just at this moment you just know how you have to buy it regardless of how much you've already spent on books. And that's one of the books I actually bought, and I didn't regret it after buying this. I actually bought it like 3 years ago, as I mentioned, and the reason why I only finished it right now is because it's such an amazing book, and it's a short story like collection, which is great because as I think you have seen my previous book reviews, you know that I'm a very busy person, and somehow short stories are better than long novels because I can like feel I've accomplished something by like reading a short story within a very short period of time, and that's what happened for this short story. And the reason I spent 3 years is because the stories are so amazing that I don't want to finish. I don't want to end this journey so quickly, and that's the point. Like, this book was actually first published in 2007, like such a long time. But somehow, if you compare to more than like current short stories or movies relating to the concept of wizards or witches, I would say this has better and more innovative ideas than what we see nowadays. Like, I have watched Maleficent 2 yesterday, and I was so disappointed, that I had to come back and read a story from this book just to calm myself, because I just feel like it's so cliche, so old-fashioned. There was nothing new about the concepts of witches or wizards, nothing interesting or things that I cannot guess from that movie. And somehow I find more of these things, less cliche, innovative stuff in this. This book was published in 2007, I must repeat. And I am so glad that I bought it, so that every time I just feel so disappointed towards any Netflix shows or any dramas or movies that has a very old-fashioned concept about wizards and witches, I can go back here. And for the short story collection, I won't spoil too much because it's, as I mentioned, short stories. If I spoil the plot, basically you don't have to read it, or you will read it regardless of that. But still, I do have a few short stories that I would recommend, like going first when you do buy the book. One is definitely The Color Vision, which is my favorite. It's about magic and color, like relationships like this. And somehow I, as an artsy person, I resonate with it, and I love the magic system in here. And for children, like, all the stories are suitable for like kids, teenagers, and adults. But I would definitely say the Naming Day is definitely one of the stories that best like suits for a kid. Like, if you want to teach them a lesson, like find a story with an obvious lesson, then that's definitely Naming Day. And I just want to mention also, if you look at this book, the reason why it's so amazing is because if you look at the writers that contribute to this collection, there are so many New York Times best-selling authors in it, including Neil Gaiman. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but here it is. He actually contributed, and the story he contributed is called The Witch's Headstone. So he also contributed. If you know who he is, he's also the author, the creator of the American Gods, the story, and also plenty of other like stories you might have seen, but you didn't realize it was written by him, like famous works that like a lot of people know. Anyways, so back to story recommendations. There is also one that I love so much. Like, if you're a Christian or Catholic, this is definitely a story for you. Cinder. Like, a lot of the stories, like when you talk about wizards, like Harry Potter, like churches and Christians ban this book, like even burn it, right? But I feel like when it, like even any books that relating to like wizards and stuff, Christians and Catholics or any like religious people will say, oh, don't read these books. But I would say Cinder is a story that like matches with the Christian values a lot, like especially it references to the image of Jesus somehow. I would say it's somehow like, even though he's a wizard, but if you look at the things he did, it's almost a mirror or a reflection of the image of Jesus. That's why I like it so much, because it doesn't like give you the straightforward of a Bible teaching, like a Christian teaching gives you these vibes. It reflects our values, but not like directly. And that's why it also suits for like it is also suitable for people who are not Christian or Catholic, and that's why, yeah, that's it. I would say one of the most confusing short stories I've written in this book would be Billy and the Wizard. Somehow when I finished reading it, I was like, what is the purpose, what is the message? I feel like there's something more, but at that moment I just feel like, I don't understand. That's what I felt after reading this short story. But still, the other short stories are all amazing. It's so short and especially suitable for busy people. Like if you like love fantasy stories and you don't have much time to read it, go check out this book. This is an amazing, like really amazing collection of short stories where you can see like brand new, innovative concepts surrounding the topic of wizards. Perhaps in this book cover you see the most traditional image of a wizard, but if you read the stories, this is definitely not the same as the cover. There are definitely new, really new concepts about this topic as well. Anyways, yeah, these are the two books that I've read for September and October. These are two books, not actually the only two books I've read. I've read a lot more, but these are the two books that I want to introduce to you for these 2 months, and I hope you like it. If you like it, remember to give a big thumbs up and to subscribe. And yeah, I guess I will end this video by saying remember to stop existing, start living, and be alive. Bye!